Good afternoon, all. CapMoBackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, November 19th, and we're looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And for a day, just like yesterday, we were 8 for 8 wide and then went trend in the afternoon. Today we were 9 for 9 wide and decided to go trend late in the day. We battled most of the price spike from yesterday. We didn't get it. We go out with a little price probe of our own as we popped K's high. In fact, the Russell did the same. Russell went out with a probe. It basically filled theirs from yesterday and went out with a price probe today. They're in a nice 4-day balance. Triple Qs took back all of their M period from yesterday. Went out with a price probe today. Nice 4-day balance. And the SPY, we did not get all of it. We did not get back to J's low, which is the bottom, the base of the price spike. So it's still in effect. And we had a little one of our own. Good day today for me up until K period, when the market, I was expecting it to push higher. Did not expect it to go trend. So a short in K period. Took the wind out of the sails for my day. Took it off finally. Didn't do anything after that in L or M. But let's get to what the day did today. So we gapped lower in A period. Traded right down. We talked about this. I said I didn't get the short right away because it opened and basically drove down. So I missed the short off the opening, which I did want to take. I said I would take a long play against last month's high, which I did. I bought the 353 calls. And again, all the expirations were tomorrow's expirations. I bought the 353 calls literally at the low of the day, right above last month's high, and took them back up for a nice trade in A period. B period. B period one time framed up, but barely stayed there. And I took a short because I was looking, once it fills the gap, now we fill the gap in A, but again, in B, it got up there, didn't stay up. I want to see if we're going to stay below M's range and go back to the opening. That trade worked out nicely. It was a 359 short, 359 put. Again, I did the same in C. We were making new highs, but coming right back into the day's range, even though we were one time framing up. So again, I did that 359 put. Value was lower all day. I was expecting either possibly a P shape or just a short, fat, squat profile rotational day. Well, boy, did we get that as we got incredibly rotational. We had about a dollar range for a good part of the late morning and early afternoon. I took a short in G period. Against F's high, it was actually... So we were forming a bit of a ledge in D, E, and F. I took a short, and I'm telling you, that's one that worked out real quick. As soon as I took it, we absolutely flushed out to the low. Then I was looking for a long. I wanted to get further away from POC, which was F's low at the time. Probably got a little too picky. I was looking more towards C's low. Never got it because that turned out to be the afternoon pullback that I use, in my sense, as we went back up. J period took a quick fade that worked, and then the one that hurt me was in K. K period opened, filled single prints, right, by a tick, and then ripped. I thought they would try to get the overnight, and in the ES and SPY, took the short, but it obviously didn't stop there. Got some momentum, got some volume, took the trade off, and by that time, it was a sizable trade, which took back just about everything from early in the day. Now, if I had held it, L never took out K's high, or I could have gotten back in, but the algos were pretty much agitated at this point. So I don't want to, just because I lost money on that trade, jump in L period to try to get that back. That's the worst thing I can do. If there was a solid reason, fine. L never took out K. You know, a lot of times it does come down and fill the single prints if it doesn't take out the previous time frames high fast enough. Quick enough, and same on the downside. I could have entered that trade back in because it actually pulled back, never filled the singles, but pulled back to where I would have been in the money if I had held those. But I didn't do it, and I did nothing in M period as we probed. volume, again, very light, 53.5 million. So we're not even coming close to the average. Now, I'm kind of not surprised by that, even though we're getting these big moves in the afternoon like we did yesterday, like we did today. The bottom line is we're in balance. We have spent the last 8 trading days trying to rectify what last Monday did at the all-time high. That's all we've been doing. They pushed below it on Tuesday and Thursday of last week, but 6 out of the 8 days have traded entirely inside Monday's range from November 9th. Balance, right? Volume's going to be lighter in balance, even though you're getting these violent moves inside of balance. I mean, look at some of these moves we've had. Look at this move on the 13th, that tremendous price spike and probe late in the day on Friday. And then they continued it, pushed higher on Monday, even went out with a probe. Okay, here comes the all-time high. Nope. Since then, one time framing down 3 days in a row. Look at the flush we got in L&M on Tuesday. Look at yesterday. And now today, we get the opposite, a bit of a flush up inside of M's range. So pure and simple, it is balance. And the market imbalance is still waiting for more market-generated information. Upside destinations. Today's high, 358.18. Now we still have the price probe, J's low of 358.67. Remember, this is a double distribution day again. We've had a lot of double and triple distribution days. So it's going to be J's high to the low and L's low to the high. Yesterday, I had a double distribution. I still have single prints here. 360.16 get filled at 17. And then we have yesterday's high, 361.50, which is a poor high. For the downside, we got to use K's high, price probe, even though we closed below it, 358.13. Where do we have us closing? Yep, we are below it, 357.78. 358.13. Then we have the single prints. L's low, 357.12. They get filled at 356.83. J's high. Now, J's high fills the singles. Change took place really basically above C's high, but it's fairly close enough to where the single prints fill. But this is a very important area for the bulls tomorrow for a couple of reasons. Number one, you never got the price probe from yesterday. They want to attack that. Number two, if you hold this level, you're still holding the bottom of yesterday's M's range, and then you can go back to attack. But if they give this all up and never get J's low, for me, in the bigger picture, nothing's changed. And we're still one time framing down, and then we see if we test the bottom of the balance, which is last week's low. So this level where where change took place today is going to be very, very important tomorrow if we open up inside the day's range. Below that, we have 9 wide at 356.17. We were 9 for 9 wide. Never saw it again. Afternoon pullback low in G of 355.19 and today's low of 354.15. And then on the charts, monthly, they defended last month's high literally to the penny. I mean, you can't get more mechanical than this market was today. The way we got down to the monthly high, the way we almost got to the price probe from yesterday. It's still all short-term traders. That's all it is. So firmly in balance. Weekly, I'm still calling it up. Now, unless we have a tremendous move one way or the other tomorrow, we're going to have an inside week. Now, generally, that sets up, just like we had the inside month, an inside week is powerful too, and it usually sets up a good opportunity going forward. Now, next week is a holiday week. It's only 3.5 days. So if you do have the inside week, we're going to see if we come out of it one way or the other, what we do get out of it, because it is probably a light trading week for the most part. And then on the daily, even though this is a whole balance, I'm going to call this down for now because we're one time framing down 3 days. So if we take out today's high, then we're firmly just all back in balance. But until the buyers prove they can get their act back together, I'm calling this down since we're one time framing down 3 days. Again, if we take out today's low and get acceptance below it, we are back inside the inside month, and the next big destination is last week's low. If, however, we can take out today's high, come firmly back in balance, then they can start their little grind up towards the all-time high. Hope you had a great day trading. Have a great evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.